My camera could have been a little bit too bright. It's too bright.
A tad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see the light bouncing off your forehead.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I'm shine up.
Beaming. You know that.
Yeah.
Right there, right there, right there.
Yep.
I
We can
said it
work
and
with
forget
that.
it.
It's
Good.
a little dark, but we'll work with it.
I rather that.
Alright, so let me check our flow here. See what I'm seeing. I'm not, if the light is not moving.
What about the white screen? What the white screen looks like?
6,
I'll give you, there.
6.
Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
I have a wide screen. So, 3, Luke, I'm missing 1. Is it 7? No. 1,
Going one.
2.
I need
One, 2,
Jimmy
3, and
just a
6.
little bit. Well,
Is it too dark?
No.
Jimmy is a little.
Little dark.
Side.
Yeah, just bring them up a little. Especially since Mr. up on the slightly hot, hot side. Right there.
There.
That's perfect. That's cooking with grease.
We gotta go.
Cooking
We
with
got
grease.
it. All right, back to me and Clarence. We can't. Yeah.
Okay, so we talk. Okay. Hold on. Something I'm going away up on the edge of the painting. Brian, which one?
Just bring it over back a little to the
To the right.
just slightly,
Very.
very slightly.
Let's take him over. Pan left.
You have to be careful, because if you switch it, yeah,
Pan left.
right there.
Really?
It's clear here.
No, but no, we're seeing the border. So
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right, leave. Okay, fine.
good.
Now, where's living my best life is right here. We can't see that. We gotta go.
Yeah.
Lose a. It's
Okay. All right. So we're ready?
yeah.
'Cause-
Oh Jesus, this
Okay.
shirt is too long. Like I can't put up.
So, all right. 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Sunday afternoon again. Welcome to Bar Talk on a Father's Day. It's a Father's Day episode. So guess what? We have some good information, and we are going to be talking about men's health over.
Wait. It's not blinking.
Did you get your program key?
I did, but I have no internet connection phone. Is this something on the other side?
When I talk and you ask questions and I don't talk to the camera, I could look at you.
Yes. I'll kind of pilot the conversation,
Okay.
and then
So,
keep on.
yeah,
keep,
in your introduction, when you're introducing yourself,
We're talking to each other.
keep on the Wi-Fi too, Paula, please.
We're talking to each other.
introducing yourself, that camera, introducing yourself, this camera, talking amongst each other, look wherever. Point straight to the camera, I'll switch to you, you don't have to worry about it, I just randomly as we're talking. Yeah, just let it flow.
Try not to look at the TV screen.
That will distract you, but please.
And that's what, yeah, that's,
If you look at the TV screen, you go sad. Nobody knows you're looking at it. Or who you talking to.
All right. I remember that we don't have a song or anything, okay? So you
Huh?
have to keep going.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine. No, okay.
No,
Um,
no, the normal stuff.
Your friend coming?
He said that in La Ford University. Go ahead. So.
I can't have
Turn
it.
him off?
no, they keep saying front door.
We'll turn him off.
Next time we're gonna just lock him out. Can't do
You're
that.
fine.
Um,
On the other hand, look. My eyes just too puffy.
Don't worry about that. We'll put a filter.
Well, this new one, I didn't know
And
to
as
take
much
the
as
chime
I
off.
don't really don't fully on the filters now. That's your friend. I send your messages so she have to
I
respond.
can't.
You're
So
another one. You too, you haven't
Alright,
responded to anything.
I can't.
Why you keep saying that? Is that the same thing you said for
No, it don't matter. It's gonna chime
For the same
anyway.
conversation?
It's
Because
alright.
that's just-
Let's
it's
for this
about
time. Let's
business.
just go with it
Don't
because we're
stress
late.
Let's go.
Next time, let him know after 5. We just can't let him in.
All right.
Stream key, you didn't hit OK again. You refresh your stream key.
I did not.
You're gonna have to go back on it because it's not gonna go.
Jamaicans.
So just hit the OK button again. Okay, we're good to go now.
All right, take two.
Things happen.
They do. 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Sunday afternoon in sunny Sunrise, Florida, and this is another edition of Bar Talk. It's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all of you out there, whether or not you're a biological father or the influence in a child's life has been significant as a father. Excellent. We have a wonderful show. It's about men's health over 50, and you know, I like to say the age go up and some things go down. Okay, and we need to put a stoppage to that. So we have an amazing guest list here, and I'm just going to ask them to introduce themselves, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the topic. But before that, as always, we need to do some housekeeping. So you know, Bar Talk is brought to you by Moment to Remember Studio. Moment to Remember Studio here in Sunrise, Florida. We do all things photo, video, and print. So if you need a passport picture or you need your next major event, give us your vision. Don't ask us for a price list first. Give us your vision and we'll help make that vision a reality. We're also on the #1 platform for all things Jamaica, the Caribbean, and to the world. We have over 500,000 followers on this channel. It's called Jamaicans.com. You can find us on Facebook.com/One Love Jamaica. And I don't do this by myself. We have a team. And today we have the full house team. We have Clarence, we have PJ, we have Kevin Stew. Say, hey, Kevin Stew. Come on.
Kevin Stew.
Greetings and salutations, one and all.
And we have my brother, I call him he call me Uncle Luke. It's like my son, you know, Brian Barnett, who is all things making beats, singing, play guitar, play drums and piano, all that kind of. He's in the house also. Ryan, say hi to everybody.
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Now, let me start first of all by having a lady on this program. If you have seen her on Facebook, the other day she told me her age, and I was in shock because Miss Tilting Shellico picked me. So I'm gonna ask my sister that I've known for donkey years. I know her before we had kids. Her kid is like 19. My oldest one will be 24. When I moved in the same neighborhood as hers, my kid was 3 weeks old. So just to tell you. Juliet Peterkin, talk to us.
Hi, I'm Juliet. I'm a health and wellness coach. I'm also a certified fitness trainer. I'm 50 years old. Yes, I am 50. I celebrated my 50th birthday in
See
March.
them arms of Kevin?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm happy to tell anyone that I've lost 132 pounds naturally.
Yes.
So let me ask you a question, because when people come on this show, I like to find out a little bit about them, and my audience want to know a little bit. Are you a Jamaican or a fake Jamaican?
I am a real born bred Jamaican. Born in Kingston, Jamaica, grew up in Havendale. And funny enough, I went to Tivoli Gardens High School. People would think that, hey, you went to Tivoli? Well, yes, I did go to Tivoli. And that's where I earned a scholarship because, hard work and, you know, when the teachers see a potential. And I actually got a scholarship to go to the University of the West Indies, and I did fashion designing and pattern making. Never pursued it, but I still do my little thing on the side here and there.
Well, let me give a shout out to my sister, my biological sister, who taught at Tivoli for years. I don't remember, Melise Dawn Brown, I think is her name, but it was Ballantyne.
Oh,
her name is.
I think, yeah.
Yes, a little skinny,
Yes.
white-looking woman. That's my sister.
Wow.
She left Shortwood Teachers College and
went
she
there.
went
Wow.
to teach there and she taught there until she retired.
Small world, wow.
So now, Juliet, introduce your host that you've co-hosted, your co-guest that you brought to the studio. Let's talk to us about him.
I have with us Jimmy Hepburn. We're in the health and wellness industry. He is my coach and sponsor in the business. He's a global director, one of the millionaires in the company, and he brought me into this business, and that was when I realized, my true potential in terms of what I wanted to do in terms of fitness and weight loss. Now, Jimmy, as much as we're into the health and wellness industry, when it comes down to working out and all that, because we know health is paramount. If you don't take care of your health, you can't wait. It's like a car. You need to tune up and service your body. So if you don't take care of it, of course you're going to break down. So Jimmy's like a typical guy, no disrespect. But when it comes down to working out, it's really all about a mindset. So I'd love to introduce Jimmy Hepburn. Jimmy?
Well,
Welcome.
first of all, before you introduce the man, you got to tell the people them by ear that the man a millionaire in the business. Now everybody come knock on them door for a loan. You know in the Jamaican environment, everybody want to hook up. Jimmy, go ahead, please.
Thank you for the introduction. So yeah, I'm Jimmy Hepburn, and I met Juliet at church, and I told her about an opportunity. Looked at her body, said you would fit right in with sharing health and wellness. So sure enough, she did that, and she went further with the products helping people. Decided to get a license and started helping a lot of people out there. So I'm pretty proud of her progress, what she's been able to accomplish, and really how many people she's been able to help. You look at her body, at her age, true inspiration for people out there, knowing and believing that it's actually possible. And so now that she's a coach, she now has to coach me. And yeah, it's a little tough. I'm approaching the 50s. I'm almost there. And sometimes I just don't feel like working out as much. I don't feel like doing the squats, and I don't feel like doing the push-ups. But I got to maintain this figure in this new generation with all the social media. So she's a coach. I would highly recommend her, and I'm really excited to have her as my coach.
Well, let me ask you a question. Is without fairness, you don't sound in Jamaican. So where are you from?
So I do have an accent. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, but at a very young age, I moved to Martinique, which is where my mom is from. My father is from St. Lucia. My grandfather's from Trinidad. My grandmother from Guyana. So I have a mixture.
Yes, you do have a mixture of an accent.
I have a mixture of different Caribbean, islands.
I had an Eastern Caribbean coming up.
There is a little Eastern Caribbean, yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly French. And then I got adopted Haitian, so yeah.
Oh wow.
I got a little bit of
That's quite a
everything.
mix.
It is.
That is definitely quite a mix. Now, folks, honestly, I have my one-time neighbor here flexing our muscles and looking fine and refined and otherwise divine. But for us men, and the ladies too, but for us men, I don't know about you all, but I used to do track and field. And when I was in Jamaica, I used to teach at Wilbur's. In the evening time, we used to coach the kids at the school, and then after we go to National Health Studio, and I used to do health and fitness. At one time, I think I was going to be a bodybuilder because I thought, when I decided to relocate to the United States, I was going to New York, I thought, yeah, egg is cheap. Egg is a dollar, less than $1 dozen of egg, and you can get all these supplements. I thought I was going to be an amazing bodybuilder. And the first job I went and trying to catch the subway in the mornings, I know if you're 1 second late for the subway, you're 45 minutes late for work and things. That went through the door. Fast forward, I tried a little bit of health and fitness and every now and then, but the older we get, I think I speak for a lot of men out there, especially when you work late hours and do all that kind of thing and the family and everything, it's hard to get up and do it. I ain't talking about her now. How do you find that, Jimmy? Are we speaking? You're a fitness guru, so one expects you to be always fit. But how do you find that?
So when I first started working out, I wasn't working out for a very long time. And you have to understand, I was very active in my young age. I did table tennis tournaments. So I was always an athlete per se. I did martial arts. So growing up, I did that. But then for about 10 years, 10 years, I kind of just slacked off. But my body seems to look fit somewhat. And when I started going back into it, it was tough. It was tough at first. But you have to create a habit. You have to get your muscle to get used to it. And what I find is I can't do it by myself. I need somebody to push me. If somebody's not pushing me, I'm probably not going to wake up and do it.
But Jimmy, my issue is we want somebody to push us, but the fact of the matter, many of us don't have that luxury. We are working, like me, I work on my own. I am here and I'm running, ripping and running. And sometimes we just don't have we find it hard to even get up sometimes, much more to do it. And so to have accountability partner don't work for a lot of us. In fact, I did a research this morning when I was doing the flyer, and I realized part of the suicide rate among men, a percentage of that suicide rate, who are men who think they're just aging and things not going right, and especially in the bedroom, the flag start drop half mast or it just don't fly at all, So people start feeling very insecure about themselves and so forth. And so we tell people, yes, let's go do exercise. But I don't know if exercise cures everything. Let me see what the lady says, especially since I mentioned the bedroom side of it. Talk to us.
Well, I can tell you that when you work out, training, you're training your heart. So it's good for cardiovascular health. It gives you stamina. And of course, it improves your life. So at the end of the day, it is a big plus when it comes down to aging. And that is a time we should gravitate towards being a little bit more fit, because everything starts, you
going south.
Exactly. Hormones for women go all over the place. For men, it gets hard. So it's really, at the end of the day, it's a mindset, and not everyone have that. As you say, not everybody have that accountability partner to push them, and that's why some men get so discouraged, I guess, and just slack off.
It's a mindset. How would you tell somebody out there right now any strategy in creating that mindset?
My strategy is that I didn't want to be a statistic like my family. High blood pressure, diabetes, heart problems, heart disease. So all of that played a role in why I decided to switch into this lifestyle of health and wellness. My dad had high diabetes, my mom, and then one night I had a panic attack. In Jamaica we say angina attack. And I went to the hospital and everything, and I found out my cholesterol was high. So that was just a game changer for me. Total mindset change right there.
How long have you been doing this?
Well, I started my journey I would say about 17 years, because after that panic attack, and then I started, changing how I ate, I realized I lost some weight, but I plateaued. And then, it started again, and then, I never gave up. I tried all kind of stuff. But then I realized the quick fixes don't work. It really don't work. So if you really don't make up your mind to eat properly, it's all about the eating, low sodium or none at all.
Hold that thought, though. Hold that thought. I'm going to switch to Jimmy, because she look, like I said, she looked the part. But for many of us, we can keep, what she talk about, the habit. As a trainer, as a I hear she tells me so much about you. What would you say to men out there right now to keep that habit? Because me, I can be a bullet out of the gate, and I can make some strides in. Because me, I can be. Forgive Kevin, folks. Let me put him on blast. This is his first week back. Yes, so the truth of the matter is that I'm like a rabbit out of the gate. I can get started, and I can be the first 3 weeks Yeah, when I was in Jamaica, because the guys at the gym and people don't see the gym, they call you, and the kids at the school, because I had to deal with the boys school. I had to I had to look the part, and I guess at that age, the ego was also part of the why we. Men are not ego right now for nothing. How do you then keep that habit that she's talking about?
So I'm going to talk about what I do with other people, and then I'll talk about how it worked out for me, because it kind of was the same thing. So what I noticed is you have to have a why. You have to have a reason why you want to do it, right? So you could have that young girlfriend that motivates you, and you're trying to be a zaddy and stay fit and look the part. Or you may have a challenge that comes up, you know. And the company I'm involved in, we had a challenge. There was a challenge, a prize to win for the best transformation within a 30-day time frame. So I made it a priority to win the challenge. My goal was not, hey, I'm going to look good or I'm trying to stay healthy. My goal was I'm going to win the challenge, and then a habit started getting created. My body wanted to do it, and I started seeing the results, and I started feeling better, and I started getting the wow, you look great, and the likes on the post. So that kept me going. But you need the environment to keep you in that space, and so you gotta connect with the right people. You gotta be in the right environment. You have to have the right people around you that keeps you going, that motivates you. And then at the end of the day, you really gotta do time management. You gotta make room for it. There's time. We just don't take the time to do it. It only takes 30 minutes, and you could take 30 minutes, between meals, before you go to bed, before you wake up a little earlier.
Come off Facebook a little bit for 30 minutes rather than watching everybody else and just go walk.
Yeah, because we spend 3-4 hours a day watching Facebook.
Yes.
And so we just choose not to do this because we find it easier to say we don't have the time. But that's all we have is time.
But the motivation to do it is always seemed to be the issue at hand.
Because there's no purpose behind your motivation. What's the purpose? What's your why? Why are you doing it? Okay, so the Bible says I need to be healthy, right? Okay, if I'm not healthy, that means I'm disobedient. So maybe for me, that's good enough to say I'm going to respect that law, and then I'm just going to keep myself healthy. So for people, it's different. For me, that would be that example. Maybe it's just I want to keep up with my daughters, my kids. Or maybe, I'm trying to look for that perfect woman, and I need to look the part. Or maybe I'm in the health and wellness industry and I need to look the part because it attracts more clients, more customers.
No customers.
So it depend on what you do. You're going to have to see how it fits for you. But I think overall, the world that we live in, especially now that, health conscience and what's happening in the world, the pandemic, we need to make it a priority to want to be healthy so that our immune system could be stronger, and then we could live a little longer.
Let me just take time to recognize the people who are watching us online. Glenn Watson, Simone Douglas, and 14 others from her group is watching. Tanya Johns is watching. Pamela Anderson, Hanniford is watching. Evan Chen Lin is watching. Marjorie DaCosta says hi. Canty Cecilia says hi. Al Duncan is, hey Hal, how you doing, man? Long time no see. Kevin Stew is in the house for whatever reason. He's here. Tracy Ann Clark is watching. Beverly Morgan is watching. Barbara Hamilton Chin. Veronica Faye Rob. Louise and I'll continue. We have quite a few people who are watching online with us, and some of them asked me to bring them on camera. I'd love for you to just say hi to our guests and also tell us where you're coming from. If you have any questions regarding, even if you're not a male, I said quite a few of the ladies watching. First of all, text to a friend. Tell them the show is live. We're talking about men's health. If he's out right now having that pot roast or that barbecue, it's Father's Day. Maybe after that, nudge him towards this to watch this a little bit. Of course, we're on Facebook Live. It says facebook.com/One Love Jamaica. And it's the ONE, One LOVE, Love Jamaica. One Love Jamaica. Share it with a friend. And listen, I see you on the chat. Tell me where you're watching from. And just talk to us if you have any issues or you have any thoughts on men's health or just be living healthy over 50 yourself. Just talk to us. Me personally, I need, like you said, I need to get back a motivation to do what I do, to at least start. And I'm picking up, because we're all in here, our members are Christians. That's the good thing. We do have our different churches. And I've always have to talk to people when they say, well, I don't have to go to church to worship. And no, you don't have to. But certainly the same thing applies to health or fitness based on what you say, Jimmy. I don't have to be with a group to do my health and fitness, but certainly the group factor helps you to be accountable, if hearing you right.
100%.
100%.
I find it, for me, that was the most effective way for me to keep going. And in doing challenges, people that would normally not work out, that was the one thing that got them to do it.
Because they can't live telling you, no, I'm not coming, or I'm not going to live
The
up to the challenge.
accountability. It's like if I tell you do 10 push-ups, you'll do 10 push-ups. But if you have a coach, that's pushing you, you might do 40. You may stop at 10 thinking that you're done, but somebody will push you. You always get pushed when somebody's pulling you. You always need that extra help. So I find it important to have a community, to have that fellowship, to create that, the group. It motivates you.
But let's be honest, as guys, we are lone wolves. We like to run alone. Ladies, you go to the park right now, there are 3-4 ladies out there exercising by themselves, or a whole group of ladies with these wonderful pink, yellow, green mats, and they're exercising. Guys, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, we're not so much an accountability issue, especially if we, or am I incorrect?
It depends. If you want something, you do what's necessary to get it done. So if it helps to be in a group, then go find a group. If you don't feel like being in a group, then you'll be by yourself and you may never get the results that you're looking for unless you have that motivation, self-motivation to do it. Once you have the information that could help you, you choose that. If the viewer is watching and you find yourself, you're alone and you're not waking up and you don't feel like doing it, you don't feel motivated, because I know I don't feel motivated. If they don't come knocking on my door, I may not go. And so ask for accountability. Look for people that, will help you. Look for people that will push you, people that will motivate you. At the end of the day, we're all there to uplift each other, help each other out. And so there's people out there that are assigned probably to help you get better. So decide and choose to connect to them. That's at least my recommendation.
So I just want to say hi to Clinton DaCosta. How are you doing, sir? He is Partnership for Youth. He's one of the community. We have quite a few community people who are doing great things in the community who are actually watching the show right now. One of them is Clinton DaCosta. He's with Partnership for Youth, and he's one of those people who motivate youth or catch a youth doing something good and help them to get to the next level. So I want to say hi to him. And he says, Luke, he says, thanks for our guests for the great info. And he's coming in from Boca Raton in the house. All right. And then Clinton says, Luke, it totally depends on the group for that motivation. Groups have motivated him in the past. Says basically, actually, no, he says totally depends on the group.
Have demotivated him in the past.
Yes, and then motivated, 2 words here. So he's agreeing and disagreeing because groups have actually make you don't want it to be part of them. I mean, your thoughts?
Yes, well, my thoughts are that sometimes someone in a group can, if they don't feel like going and then you're pumped up to go, work out and so on, and a couple of them in the group not going, then it just drags you back. So sometimes it's even better to just pull away when you consider your why. And as I say, the why is the health. You don't want the same thing that happened to your parents, heart disease, the high blood pressure, that type of a thing. So if the group really don't work for you, try and find another motivation and push yourself. Push yourself.
How much does the medical, and I know you guys are not medical practitioners, but anyone you want to take this, how does the medical side, because let's face it, a man over 50 some things start happen and him start, for example, going to waking up 2-3 times a night to go urine or to use the restroom. This is a PG, so not even deal with urine. Yeah. Or find out that he has to, when he makes a trip somewhere, make sure they have a bathroom before he leave or so forth.
That incontinence happening.
And that, yes. And he's thinking about all these things. And you're telling him to look like you guys and so forth. And he's thinking, I'm worried about my prostate, I'm worried about my this, what have you. Jimmy, what would be your advice to him?
Then you're gonna have me talk about my products now.
You could. You could.
So one of the reasons why I got involved in the health and wellness is because one of the products that we offer is a tea. It's a tea that has 9 different plants that actually help regulate your system. And the reason why I was interested is because, like most people, they don't want to move and work out. This was an easy way for them to lose 5 pounds in 5 days right from their couch in their living room.
Come on, Jimmy. I'm going to challenge you because I'm tired of those late night infomercials. Yep. Tired of them late night infomercial, man. 5 pounds in 5 days.
Yeah.
That's not even sound healthy to me. I'm asking you to defend that.
Well, Juliette knows because she's
Let
got a
me
lot of
defend it real
customers
quick.
that
I'm
are
gonna-
getting
No, hold on. This is a men's health, so let man defend it. Let me come back to you.
So
And folks, if you think, if you're out there, you're thinking like me that that sounds like another late night, 1 p.m. With your last beer,
commercial.
1 a.m. last drink commercial. Text in the chat, let us know, talk to Jimmy, how does that work so we can put him on the accountability block. Go ahead.
So it really started with my mom. She had a lot of health issues. She had a lot of pain, and a friend of mine calls me from the U.S. and says, I was in the Caribbean, I was in Martinique at the time, and she says, take this tea, people are losing weight with it, and I didn't need to lose weight, but my mom needed to. She tried the product and she lost 5 pounds in 5 days. She had a lot of issues, swollen foot, and so edema, all these things went down. Her health got better. So when I realized that the product worked, I started offering it to other people, and build a huge group of people, over 20,000 people across Europe, utilizing the product. If it wasn't working, they would be buying it. And I came to the States, and a lot of people would vouch for it. And there's a lot of testimonies that the plants, papaya, ginger, chamomile, myrrh, there's 9 different plants. They each have a role on the body, and it detoxes, it cleanses your body, it removes the parasites, it removes the toxins. And fat has a tendency to stick on your toxins. So when you remove toxins, you remove fat, and it also burns the fat. So the product is very effective, it works. And an average
Jimmy,
person.
I'm busting your chops a while ago, but repeat that. Look at the camera and tell our folks out there, because I need to hear that again. Tell them that what you just said a while ago about that process.
So there are plants that are very effective when they're combined, and in this specific product, it's a tea that will help a person that has very bad immune system or very bad body, deficiencies, to be regulated. And this tea has a tendency to detox your body. It removes parasites, removes toxins, heavy metals. And so when you remove toxins from your body, the fat that normally stays to protect you from the toxins goes away. So there is an accelerated way for you to lose the weight. And I don't want to say this because we have a coach here, but most people that take the product without having to work out right from their couch, and I call it the lazy way to lose weight, they would lose 5 to 10 pounds, the first 2 weeks, the first week, 5 pounds in 5 days.
And so Jimmy telling us one thing, 1 minute until you say exercise, the next thing you tell us, boy, you buy this thing, you don't have to exercise at all. But that's not true. But
That's not true.
That's not true. But the fact of the matter is, from a Caribbean, I am agreeing with you. I'm not joking with you, but I'm agreeing with you, because from a Caribbean thing, the bush tea,
It works.
more than the bush tea, and it works. Your bilious, what Bibsy tea?
There's a,
Busy.
busy. And there's a good old Cersei.
You get poison, there's another, what the root, there's a tea and a bush
Sulfur.
for everything.
Yes, Right.
And so sometimes we look to all these chemicals as opposed to things that the earth created naturally.
And plants are designed to cure you. So Yeah.
All yours, Juliet.
Yes, well, as you said, Jimmy said 1 minute, workout, and another minute he said something else. But guess what? When you detox your system, it forces you. You literally have more energy, so you're going to feel motivated to move. So that's a big plus with detoxing because that's what happened to me. I was a little skeptical. I kid you not.
Hold on, tell the public though, because folks go find her on Juliet Peterkin on Facebook.
Spell the piece again.
Instagram.
Peterkin.
Kin. And look at her before and after. I can't remember you being that when we were living in the same condo. I can't remember you being that size. But you look at the pictures, it's her. And so you wonder, how many pounds did you lose?
I've lost 132.
Wow.
132.
See, with something like this, we need a before picture.
You can zoom in. That's her right there.
Walk over here. Walk over to this camera. Walk over to this camera right here.
And just put it right, yes.
So we're gonna.
Switch to it, can you see it?
All right. So put it back a little bit. Let it catch the zoom. Let it focus.
Right there,
it is.
right there.
There it is.
That's the before and after. And you notice she don't have no post.
I know that was coming.
She don't have none of that post weight loss gills on her arm or everything. Talk to everybody, Juliet, about that. How do we do that?
Well, guess what? The misconception people have is that, look at that. Where's your skin? The first question, where's your skin?
Where's
Did you
the
cut it
skin?
off? Did you cut it off? No. Skin naturally shrink.
Yes.
So
Juliet, this is where the fight comes in, because you are like an oddity with everybody, right, Paula? Paula is saying no. You're like an oddity with everybody that I know lose weight. They lose weight, then they walk around with this thing on.
Skin does not naturally shrink.
it naturally shrinks.
And Paula is saying
So
skin does not naturally
that's what she
shrink.
said. Maybe
So
because she has a problem.
let's talk about that.
So some people have more elasticity in their skin than some. And it depends on how drastic of a weight loss. And the misconception is that, hey, okay, you lost weight, where's the skin? So I didn't have surgery. People who generally have surgery, they lose weight rapidly. And so you find that they have the stretched skin and it doesn't snap back as it should. But over time, if they continue to move and work out, because I was determined to get some Angela Bassett arms because I was so conscious of my arms, with my flag flying, literally, and so I was determined. And the first thing I said to my coach 6 years ago, I said, I'd like to have arms like Angela Bassett. And, I focused on my upper body and, that's where it is. So, as you say, the skin doesn't shrink, it shrinks. And I'm a living example that it shrinks, and several other people that I've worked with as well. So, your skin
So how
shrinks.
do you account for all those folks that lose weight and you see them walking around with a second arm and a second leg and stuff like that and gills under the chin? How do you, if it's not unique genetics in your case, how do you suggest to these folks?
Well, that's another thing. You can really allow your skin to shrink and snap back by dieting, good eating habits, as well as actively moving. So there are certain moves that you do for your arms, certain moves that you do for your stomach.
Let us know about them.
Push-up is the number one thing. Plank is a full body move. Certain stuff that you do when you engage your abdomen, with your core muscle. Your core muscle, which is the basis. If your core muscle off, then you're weak everywhere, literally. Pull-ups. Not many people like to do those things. So you start basic. You start slow. Then you advance. I do hardcore stuff because I really like to do obstacle course runs. Flip the 300, 600 pound tire, climb the rope. That's me. But everybody is different. So start small because I started walking around my complex. I literally started walking around my complex. And when I started walking, I realized that, oh my goodness, one time around the complex, Luke, and I'm out of breath. Cypress Chase. So one lap around and I'm out of breath. Took me 20 minutes the first time. The second time, The second week, as a matter of fact, I found that I'm going in less time. Then the third, fourth week, I'm like, okay, let me go around twice. So you have to start somewhere. And that's literally what I did. I started walking.
Let me ask you a question here now. And just hypothetical. Would you date, and this is for the guys who need a motivation. Would you date that guy who is physically unfit? Oops.
It's now to that bit of hesitation. That's the kind of thing that
Because
just send somebody going to the gym and send one person looking for help.
I'm laughing because people think that I tend to like the buff, but no. And guess what? If the person is healthy, at the end of the day, it's not how they look. It's not a physical appearance.
No, I'm not talking about
You know,
physical appearance. I did not say
You know, if they're unhealthy, you say unhealthy.
If they are physically, for example, he's physically unfit. I'm walk around with
Pot belly and
pot
that type of
belly
thing.
and things like that. Would you? And I'm trying to find a motivation for that brother out there right now. Not for you, but for any sister. You know what I mean? That might be in my look, because we look at a sister and we see her looking good and so forth. We don't know the time, but I want her to be my girl. And I want to control her like you can't hold her like cattle or horse or cow, you know what I mean? But what would it take would you deal with a guy who doesn't have
Health
physical
and fitness
wellness
goals.
habits? Yes.
Put it this way: if it's we could work together. That's the best answer I can give you, because if the person is not motivated and they need some sort of a motivation, and if they're eating unhealthily, you know, a lot of fried food, greasy stuff, all that stuff, we could work together. So I'm not knocking.
If their motivation is to get that new order from the fast food restaurant that is being featured this month, then how do you work with that?
Well, you see, and that's where it's a little hard for me, because I don't do fast food, you know, so not
Right,
doing
so-
fast food, and then
There
the
we go.
individual is going to want fast food. The compatibility is going to be off, you know, in terms of eating. So then, as I said, we could work if the person is willing to change, you know, certain things. It's not like I would go back or revert to eating fried stuff, because mentally, I don't want to be a statistic. I don't want to have you know, that type of thing. So it's mental for me,
Right.
you know. So it's going to be hard.
I hear Kevin. Get that. When I get the mic, because me and so that I laugh by himself. Clarence, but I laugh. You know, we don't need to bring the Clarence to this. But seriously though, back to Jimmy. The same question, because there's a lot of guys out there like myself who, honestly, I'm gonna be real. I have bought. I can't tell the amount of. Workout clothes, workout sneakers, workout things that I've bought. I have a chair in my bedroom. The other day I realized, why is it getting so cluttered? And I realized I had a couple of shirts that I just came off and threw on it. But when I lift up the couple of shirts, I had sweatpants, I had shorts, I had Nike, I have Avia. I still can't get up and do it. What groups do you have? Groups that people can be a part of? And again, I'm not making a shameless plug for Jimmy and his organization, but I'm making an appeal for people like myself and probably you out there who need to be associated with this. Go ahead, Jimmy.
So when you talk about you have all these things at your house, it reminds me of me, because I was like you too. I have the roller and I have the pull-up and I have all the chairs and the crunch chairs, and I think a lot of people.
Quick question though, because it showed me the picture and we didn't get to show the public. But how much pounds did you lose?
Well, in my case, I was supposed to gain weight.
Oh, you're supposed. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
I was not working out. I was like little slim.
Oh,
you know.
so you were Pee Wee Herman.
No, you are Kevin.
Listen, let me show you. Let me show you. This was me. And by the way, this is in 30 days, right?
No, I can't stop with that.
Move it over the other side. Yeah. Center.
You need to switch to him though.
No, man, he's on this camera.
No, but it's not showing online.
It's just not focused. Oh.
Not yet, because.
Oh, there we go.
Don't focus on it, don't change the focus.
No.
Let me just back out.
Back up a little bit. A little bit.
And now go in front of Julia's face because the camera likes her.
Yeah, apparently it really likes her. Because it's still looking for her. My goodness. All right, go back a little bit.
There,
There
right
we
there.
go.
Perfect.
All
That
right.
was you from Mr. So not only weight loss,
Weight gain too.
Yeah.
weight gain too. So Jimmy, explain to me then, and you have on your mic. You can stay down. Stay right there with that up. Stay right there with that
Talk
up.
about it.
Yeah, talk about it.
So
You tell me about a herb that made me lose weight in 5 pounds in 5 days. How are no keep it up.
No, keep it
keep
up.
it up. Because you're on fire. But you're telling me about the same herb that gonna make me, or is something different that gonna make me look like that in 30 days. Explain. Go ahead.
So the challenge here was to show that the product works and I lose the weight. So I lost the weight. And then we have products like vegan protein shakes and Tichui, which is spirulina, that could help people gain muscle mass. This is 15 days of workout, about an hour.
No man, stop.
I'm telling you, listen, an
much
hour,
are you
an hour
Yeah.
to an hour and a half working out, 15 days working out, eating about 5 times a day, and this is within a 30-day time frame. So I'm saying anybody that is getting close to 50 years old could look like this, with the right environment.
Let's talk about
right
people
meal.
probably 50 and over because there are a lot of people watching this are over 50.
It would apply to them too.
It would apply to them.
It would
too.
apply to them too. I don't think it's a difference between 48, 49, and 50 and 55.
True, Nadia, that's right. You mentioned something about vegan, and I have friends who are on. In fact, one of my daughters is on this vegan diet, and sometimes I think about. I don't know if you're on that diet or you're not. Are you? No.
I'm not on the vegan diet. No.
Okay, that's a short answer. But not what- Are you?
Yes, I don't eat meat. For years.
She does not need the meat protein
meat
to
at
get
all.
muscles.
I don't eat meat. Fish.
No meat kind.
Fish, I eat.
Beans, fish. Yeah.
Okay.
Beans.
So my thing is, I wanted to do I begrudgingly say this because my friends probably laugh at me. I wanted to do a life change as far as diet and so forth, and I thought about this vegan diet. But I am under the and I guess there's quite a few men like myself are on the impression that this vegan diet is going to rob me of essential nutrients, or I'm going to take your supplements. And I don't want to take no supplements. I know, for example, that if I cook me some pork chops, I'm going to get protein. I suggest had a look on her face like, Jesus.
Roast some beef.
Some beef. If I put on something on the grill, I'm going to get everything. How does a person who wants to transition into that vegan diet manage under these kind of training and so forth? And is it and from your business perspective, is it even viable to gain weight, like what you said, gain weight on a vegan diet? Well, you're not vegan, but she loses weight, lost over 100 pounds. How does a man does that on a vegan diet?
I think it's more the frequency of how often you eat, how many times you eat throughout the day, and getting the right intake of calories. And
But rabbit food as I call it, vegan diet, don't have no protein in. So how do you do that?
plants and beans have protein that, there's probably more than what you eat in a steak or you eat in a pork chop. You could find the same protein quantities in vegan.
But you have to eat more of it to equal an 8-pound steak. You have to eat more, probably, in my mind, and again, I'm being naive about the whole thing, so please, you guys, spare me. I says Juliet looking and she's like, this man crazy. But in my mind, I eat a 8-ounce steak, and I know there's ample amount of protein. What would be the equivalent in a vegan diet?
We're gonna have to ask the expert that.
Go ahead.
Well, I personally, when I started dieting or changing my lifestyle, I went down. I'm sure I was eating up there in the 6,000s per day calorie, and so I was, I was big, and so I went down to a 2,500 calorie diet, and that I had cut out. You couldn't give me stew peas without the pig's tail. Back then,
So can't get to it without the
well,
pigtail.
you couldn't give it to me without it, but no, hey, nothing is in it but beans, and you find that like chickpeas has a lot of protein. Certain beans, it's loaded with protein. So, it's as I say, it's a choice. I personally eat fish. I still do eat fish, and I
So
eat
you're not
egg.
vegan then?
I eat egg, but vegetarian fed eggs. So, I just don't eat meat. I don't eat red meat. I don't eat meat at
Okay,
all.
okay.
Yeah.
Understandable. Understood. So that's a balance. I would consider that a balanced approach.
Balance.
Okay. Let me see exactly what my folks are saying about that, because I figure somebody gonna challenge you all by now. I'm sure that somebody's probably gonna challenging you right now.
Well, there was one question, there was one point that was raised about individuals that gain emotional weight. And
Wow.
such a product helping in their journey.
I'd really love to answer that one.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I have a client, and she's an emotional eater, and so when I start with an individual and I give them a 6-week plan, we're saying, okay, by week 1 we should be here, week 2 we're here, week 3, give them a meal plan and all that, and I'm watching, you should have more energy by week 2, you shouldn't be doing the same reps, as week 1. So anyway, I realized that she's an emotional eater. She used to make some excuses and try to cop out sometimes, and I would encourage her to say, hey, let's do it. You pay for the session, and guess what? I could jolly well be a jerk and just let her have her way, but no, that's my name at the end of the day. And so I'm like, okay, since you love chocolate, why not opt for, I gave her alternative. There's a protein wafer called Power Crunch. I love it. It's a wafer. You can get the chocolate version of it, and it's loaded with protein, 20 grams. So I gave her alternatives, and hey, Christmas came around, she ate up a storm, and all the weight that she lost, literally gained it back because she binged out, and so when I tell my clients too, don't deprive yourself, because when you deprive yourself and you do eat what you kind of, weaning yourself from, you literally find that you put on almost like a double the weight. So at the end of the day, it's you have alternative that you could choose. If you're going to starve yourself, it doesn't make sense either, because that you're not losing weight there.
Yeah, that doesn't
Yes,
work
you
at
lose
all.
weight, but it doesn't work, because the minute you start eating again, you're packing on the weight 3 times as much. So
Yes, because you've tricked your body into thinking
exactly,
that
your body
it's
gone
not
into
going to get-
your body went into starvation mode.
Right.
Now, I would say to somebody who would starve themselves, it's better to eat a slice of cake. Eat something than nothing.
Right.
And then you have the aim too is to every meal you eat, add protein. So you find that,
So when you add protein, are you talking these protein shakes, or you're
you
talking?
could add protein shake, or you could add, you could add meat. If you're a meat lover, go ahead. If it's fish, if it's chickpeas, if it's beans, there's so much options when it comes down to protein.
Does your and I'm going back a little bit to what you guys do, and anybody can add. Does your plan offer any mental health or approach to this? Because, like I said, I did it early this morning. As online, I realized that there are people part of the suicide thing, and I mentioned that before.
Wow.
It's based on people who have thought of themselves as insufficient. For guys, they were more than the women when it come on to a certain age, when they figure they can't function a certain way, they can't cope, they don't look a certain way.
They've lost their manhood.
They lost, well, you put it that way,
mojo.
and they've been rejected the mojo, and they've been
Wow,
rejected by their women, or the women they seek after. Let me start with you, Juliet. What would you say to that man?
Well, before I fully answer, I have a guy who saw my picture on Facebook and he says, "Will it really help me? I'm 72." You know, and he bought the tea and he felt good, and in that regard, he thought that it wouldn't work. And so that motivated him when he realized that he drank the tea, lost some weight, it motivated him to go after the person who he had his eyes on, because I guess she wouldn't give him the time of day. But really, I understand that, as you said, the flags really don't wave that high, or, don't move at all. But really, when it comes down to mental health, there are so many groups online. I don't offer it per se, and we have a community that, they can get counsel in that regard. We do have a community that can help in that regard as well. But I personally don't offer it.
But you would direct them.
I would direct them to where they could go. Yes.
Jimmy, your thoughts? Man to man, talk to these guys.
I believe that anyone that has a mental health issue somehow got isolated in the process. And once you're on your own, it's very easy to keep you there, and you get deeper and deeper and deeper. You just have to, and if you're aware that somebody has that issue, just try to find a way to bring him to a community, bring him to a group, bring him around people that could uplift him. People that may have gone from where he is to where they are now, and they got better. That person has to see hope. They have to see that there's possibility. Because the more you keep thinking, the more you keep thinking about it, the more you keep talking about it, what you say, what you think is what you become. And it's very easy to shift back to becoming, getting your mojo back again. I've seen people that, didn't have their mojo, and all of a sudden they got their mojo again. It takes eating right. It takes, making sure you get the right, watermelon is great for men, right?
Watermelon?
Watermelon, ginger. There's so many different things that you guys could do. I'll give you guys a quick one. You could get some, some butter and onions, cook for breakfast in the morning. There's all kind of little secrets that men could take. And you do it with the skin of the watermelon, by the way. The skin of the watermelon, not just the watermelon. The skin of the watermelon.
Skin of the watermelon.
You blend that.
Gentlemen, if you're out there, the skin of the watermelon. Well, may get that flag flying.
There is that part of the watermelon that is said to have as much as Viagra.
They say that.
I've heard that.
Yeah, that white part of your watermelon, just after you pass the red part, you're getting towards the skin.
The one that we throw away.
Yes.
Most people throw it away, yeah. So before you get into the green on the inside, the properties of that white part right there is similar to that of Viagra. So you're talking about natural boosters, natural help. I'm right there with you, Jimmy.
Yeah, maca powder, mushrooms. There's all kind of different things that could help.
And these are all natural substances.
All natural substances.
I think what I'm hearing from you all, in all seriousness, is that we probably need to start move away from a lot of the processed stuff.
Definitely.
Well, first of all, the first thing I hear from you is that no one thing is a solution. So exercise in itself is not a solution. If you have a mental health problem, no amount of weights. In fact, on Facebook, there's a guy who walks, like a bodybuilder who walks with a grab people and they play basketball, they grab them, throw them on the ground and take the ball. And he muscles his way on through everything.
Wow.
Like he has an anger management issue.
Wow.
That's it, and he's famous now on Facebook. It's a comedy. But it points out that no one thing is a solution in itself. But doing nothing at all is definitely not a solution.
Not a solution.
The question is then, Jimmy, what would you say to a man this day, moving forward, it's Father's Day, he's 50-something, and he wants to, and you can plug your organization if you want at this time, and he wants to have a better life?
So, I've been working on a project with some people in the crypto space, NFT space, because I don't know if most people know, but that's the talk of the century right now, the virtual world, the metaverse, NFTs, and they've been able to turn the human body into a mining machine. A mining machine means produce income, produce cryptocurrency. So what's exciting is the fact that I'm already in the health and wellness industry, but this specific device allows you to plug your wristband, your iPhone, your monitoring, tracking device into this NFT. And when you work out, you actually produce income. You make money for working out. This could be a motivator for people to actually want to work out. I think it's going to help.
Hold on, you lose me just now. You lose me to, and our clients are on there, I scratch the side of them head. So look to the camera again. Tell the people about this.
All right. So if there was a way for you to make money, if you
And this
worked
is our
out-
Father's Day, folks. Tell them, Kevin.
a Father's Day gift.
This is a Father's Day thought. So
It's a
it
Father's
might
Day gift.
help you to exercise and make some money. And that's two things most men
Want.
want. The third thing we'll leave alone right now. But go ahead.
It comes as a result.
I come to results on the first two. Go ahead, Jimmy.
as
Let's take it from the top with that.
The
Because
goal-
I find that exciting.
the goal is to be healthy and to be prosperous, right? And so in being healthy, you have to move. You have to be motivated. You have to move your body. You have to walk. You have to run. You have to do something. These tracking devices, the watch bands or the Fitbit, I don't know how they call them, or the ones that you have on your iPhone to
Fitbit,
track,
yeah, mhm,
Fitbit, right? So you'll be able to connect your Fitbit to a virtual NFT band that will track on the blockchain, on the internet, your production, your activity, your mileage. And the more you work out, the more money you make. And you'll make
Explain
that
that.
in cryptocurrency.
No, that's the part that's interesting. Explain that. And watch Clarence over this. It's like,
He's literally on the edge of his seat.
Is that possible?
Yes. How is it possible? Talk to us about that.
So it's called data mining. Information could produce cryptocurrency. Just like before you would use a computer and you would use electricity to make Bitcoins, now you could do this with a word, you could do this with an activity, you could drive your car and earn cryptocurrency. And so a lot of people don't know this, but
Sorry to cut you. I know I'm jumping in, but a lot of us don't even know what the heck is to get cryptocurrency, much more. So break it down for them how that works and how they can
money.
cyber money and how explain, because believe it or not, there's some of my audience out there still confused with what this cryptocurrency is.
Got it.
So break it down. And actually, I heard in a meeting. I actually streamed a meeting for the Jamaican government recently. I might get in trouble. And the minister was saying something to the extent that you heard that it's not that the Jamaican government does not see it as a viable source to invest in from a national level. That they're not discouraging people to do it. And so in that meeting, people were asking me, said, well, yeah, but I don't even know what cryptocurrency is, what's its thresh, what it's all about. So all yours.
think of it as the evolution of money and how people exchange money. And so cryptocurrency is now a way to exchange income online with one simple transaction. You don't have to worry about banks. You don't have to deal with the complications of sending money back and forth through Western Union. You could do one click, anonymously send money to another person. But there's a lot of banks. I know, for example, in Brazil, they're embracing the cryptocurrency. In Nigeria, everything's about cryptocurrency. There's some places very soon where you're not going to be able to pay in cash. And so you're only going to take credit cards or you're going to pay in crypto. Today with crypto, you could buy a house, you could buy a car, you could buy anything you want. It's the future of money. The same way we went from, coins to paper to credit cards. Now we're going into the digital space. There's the metaverse. Everything is going to be in the virtual. Money is virtual. And so if people are not getting involved in crypto or not finding a way to earn cryptocurrency, you're going to have a lot of people making a lot of money in the crypto space, and you're going to find yourself stuck with money that you can't really use. And so it's important to understand how to either acquire it or buy into the one that grows up, as coins are going down, take advantage of them. But what I'm offering with what I'm sharing with you is a way for you to not have to worry about trying to buy it. You could actually produce it by just being alive, by just moving.
By exercising.
Exercise it. So when we're talking about health, this is the perfect way to motivate someone. That's usually if you don't have money, you're kind of depressed. You eat
of
wrong.
course, yes.
So if I can make you move more to have a better quality of life, eat healthier, buy the proper foods, less processed food or the more expensive food that you can't afford to buy because you moved a little more, you made a little more money. I believe this NFT connected to your health could help you not only stay healthier but produce income in the process. So that's, without going into details, that's what it does. Now it's very simple. You just go online, buy an NFT. The price is very cheap right now because the coin is very low, and it's an NFT band that will cost about $60. It could go up to $1,500 in the next month or two. And if you buy this, you secure it now, you could work out, make some extra income. If you buy extra, you could rent it out to people that can't afford to buy it later. And when they work out and they plug in their device, you collect income on everybody's effort. We have a school right now that's going to rent 3,000 bands for summer camp. These kids are going to be able to run around. We're able to produce cryptocurrency just from them moving, saying, hey, we'll give you 10 to 50% on the activity. And we'll pay the school, or we'll pay the nonprofit, or we'll pay the church. If the church has a revival, I could tell everybody, hey, connect while you guys are praying for 3-4 hours. I'm just telling you how it works. We're motivating people to stay healthy. If there's a concert, if there's any activity that requires somebody to move, they could connect to a virtual NFT and you could produce income. And no one has done this before.
And you know, it's surprising to me. And a lot of us at a certain age, we are difficult to accept certain things. True. Here's the problem, though. The internet, when it started off, was a fluke. For a lot of people, it's like something that only nerdy kids did.
Right.
True.
And then when Cash App came, everybody went crazy. No, people steal money. And then we went to Zelle, then we went to all kind of thing. And then money became, I do a lot of things like an offer up on Facebook. I buy, sell, and trade equipment, for example. I have people now, the societies of now, I mail off the equipment, they Zelle me the money, we all go and never have to see the person. Before that, you're going down with your wallet, you're meeting them in person.
That's evolution.
So this is just the evolution. I want to really run back real quick. Shernet is watching, Paul Allen is watching, Mario Frankson is watching, a couple people. But Shernet, hey, oh, by the way, Shernet runs every Tuesday, she runs a fitness, and Shernet, I do apologize because she invited me to come last Tuesday, and same thing we're talking about. I get so caught up in everything, I didn't show up. Shernet, forgive me. I want to do it, but I get after today, I maybe have the motivation. But Shernet had a question. She says, please, we need to speak more about these natural aphrodisiacs to help men, as they may be embarrassed to speak about it openly. So,
That's a night shift topic.
she said, and she's a fitness thing herself. And Joni De La Platas asks, why is the NFT so slow? And I am to only use specific organization that recognize it, or to use cryptocurrency. In other words, she's saying the whole thing. In other words, she says there needs to be a global crypto dollar.
Well,
Is there?
Bitcoin is. That's the main one. Then you have Ethereum and you have all the other ones. The company that I'm involved in are creating their own tag chain. It's like their own blockchain. They're creating a coin that is designed to be used on multiple platforms, including the metaverse. And that's the coin that you produce. One of the coins that you produce with the virtual band when you work out. There's 8 different coins that you'll be producing. Gaming coin, another coin that has to do with this ecosystem. And so the coin that she's referring to, the coin that we're talking about, which is Tag Coin, has the potential of becoming that coin. It depends on the community and depends on how people embrace it. So what they're offering today with the usage of this coin to be able to buy those virtual bands or a virtual car. You can drive your car, Lyft driver, Uber drivers, they just have to connect their GPS, and every mileage on their car is producing them income. They might make more money with the crypto than they're making on the trip, just from connecting it to the virtual band. So you could just go ahead and take that coin and convert it back into BNB, convert it back into Bitcoin and cash it out.
So today, we folks, if you don't know, we are talking about men's health, 50 over 50 men's health. But as I talked to Jimmy and Juliet, I realized that men's health is nothing in isolation. It is nothing in as far as I can be physically fit, and that takes care of a lot of things. It takes care of one thing. Mental health, I wish I had a mental health person here to talk about that too, because, and we probably can have a continuation of this, because you could be physically fit as you want, and you're not too stable up top here, there's an issue. Mental health for men over 50 is also not only physical, mental. So it's a men's health, so physical and mental. But in order to mental thing, it's also financial.
Yeah.
Because if you ain't feel good about your finances, I don't think you're gonna want to exercise. So fair enough. I don't think if you look at a lady like Miss Peter King here, and your money weak, you're not gonna step to her. So it's a full package. Folks, I'm just going to ask my guests to tell us how they can be reached, because we're PJ, are we on time or are we running out of time? We over? Okay, good. I'm just going to have our guests to tell us exactly how they can be reached, what kind of a service well, just tell them how they can reach and what you're doing and what's your next best project. Starting with Juliet, go ahead.
Well, you can reach me on Facebook, Juliet Peterkin, or I'm on Instagram as well, Juliet.Peterkin, and that's JulietPeterkin. And the next thing I'm working on is a challenge, and this is going to be virtual. It's going to be online. So follow me, connect with me, and then you'll hear more about it.
And gentlemen, so as my neighbor, I'm going to be her protector. Following her fast on a full question. We're talking about following her to see what's. Tell them again what your line of expertise. What's your line of expertise?
Oh, I'm a certified trainer. And so with the same fitness band that Jimmy is referring to, this will motivate some people who really don't want to move to, think about a Fitbit watch. I have a watch myself, a Fitbit, and it tracks my heart rate, everything. And I'm not getting paid for all this, but then my data is stored somewhere. So the fact So the fact that
says a mouthful right there.
Listen, the fact that I can get paid moving and it is tracked and you are in control of your own wallet.
Sorry to jump
huge.
over that jump on you with that, because whether or not you're getting paid for that, Google or whomever is responsible is using that data statistic
exactly.
to get paid for something else.
Exactly, and I'm not getting paid.
Awesome.
I'm only tracking my activity. So with the new virtual watch, you'll be able to track your activity and you're getting paid. So that's just a
Tell them
big
again
thing.
how to reach you.
Juliet Peterkin on Facebook and Juliet.Peterkin on Instagram.
Jimmy.
So you can find me on Instagram, Jimmy Hepburn, JIMMYHEPBURN. On Facebook, it's Mr. Jimmy Hepburn. And my project is, I'm still in the health and wellness business, helping people lose weight. But I'm looking for organizations, I'm looking for churches, I'm looking for nonprofits that are interested in leveraging this technology and helping just an average person to walk, get healthier, and allow them to either produce income or themselves earn income. You could buy bands, rent them out to a community, and they don't have to pay a dime. They just have to be alive. And they will earn, you give them a percentage, and you get to keep the difference. So while the timing is so crucial because the value is so low, so many people could benefit. In a month or two, some people will not be able to afford it. Those that own it will be able to rent it to those that can't. So you could be in a really good position to benefit. So I'm looking for people that are interested in tapping into this space, getting into the crypto space, earning income every single day from other people just being active, being healthy, and changing other people's lives. So my phone number, can I give a number?
Yes, sure, can do.
You can text me at 754-715-9874. WhatsApp is better, and you can send me a message on Instagram.
And just in case somebody missed that, could you just say that slowly again so
Sure.
they can get that?
The number again is 754-715-9874.
Awesome, awesome. Folks, we here at Bar Talk, we do a lot of topics. We talk about a lot of things, but the Men's Health on Father's Day, once again, congratulate on behalf of the crew here and the guests. We just want to wish you, the day's still young, so you still get a chance to get that tie and that steak. So go for it. But get the fitness in and understand that the world, as I listen to our guests, I realize that everything is interrelated.
Yes.
So your fitness is related to your money too. And there's so much, and you've got their information. You can get a hold of them. I am going to be talking to them. I'm quite sure I have Clarence and everybody inside here is listening on edge that will be talking to them. And as always, you can catch us here on Bar Talk. And you want to call me, it's 954-226-8029. And any of my guests, if you missed information, find me on Facebook. It's Luke Ballantyne or Moment to Remember on Jamaicans.com. Reach us in anywhere you want. And we're sure to just pass on this information. Once again, it's my pleasing, plumb pleasure to entertain you this evening. And we'll see you next week at 5 p.m. God bless. Hold it.